divorced and you're still in good books. Is your ex-husband not supposed to be your enemy because you're no longer together?
I think that has to go away. That notion should always go. Your ex is not your enemy. Just because things didn't work out does not mean you need to hate the person. For me, what I learned to establish, honestly, is before I even talk about the friendship I have, is the fact that my ex-husband was...
YouTube channel. My name is Peter Sheikh Skyra, favored the Slim Giant, the Smart MC, or you can call me Vashimpundu if you like. Or if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, you are new, hit the red button, switch on the notification bell so that every time I post a new video, you will be notified that Vashimpundu has posted a new video. We are on Chat On with Peter Sheiks, and today I have a guest, and this guest is not somebody that you might not know, is somebody that is known. Yeah, I'm gonna be talking to Christy Mweemba, the presenter of Wedding Rescue. And so today we are talking her divorce. We want her to tell us what happened and how she endured the divorce and how she came out strong, because she seems to be a happy soul despite the divorce and keeping up with two clever kids. Well, catch you on the other side as we... On with Peter Sheiks.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm here.
And I appreciate that you came through to find time and just talk about your divorce.
Thank you.
Yeah. So love is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Marriage is a beautiful thing.
Amazing.
Yes. So every person that goes into marriage, they don't look forward to a divorce. Yeah. So today she had a soulmate. You know, a soulmate. They loved each other, made babies, you know, but at the end of the day, things didn't work out. And that's what we have come to talk about today. So my question is, how did you get married? Was there a lobola paid? Was there a wedding? Or you just moved into his house and the marriage began?
No, we didn't cohabit. It was everything. It was lobola was paid. We had Chilanga Milo.
Chilanga fire.
Yes, we had a kitchen party and a white wedding. And funny enough is a lot of people are always like, you married in the Catholic Church and the Catholic does not allow divorce, which it is. But unfortunately, there's certain circumstances where it's granted, just in case it might actually lead to either it's too much of abuse that leads to death or anything related to adultery. It's certain ways it's compromised, but the Catholic Church does not allow divorce. But we got married in the Catholic Church and it was amazing. White wedding, everything was the whole process.
So everything was done.
Yes.
Kitchen party,
Yes.
Chilanga Muli,
Yes.
wedding, money was spent. Interesting. Now, there is this saying that says, two cannot work together unless they agree. And so you agreed to get into marriage, and for you to separate, that simply means there are certain things that you came to learn that you can't agree together.
Most definitely. You know, the thing is, I think a lot of people always feel like, last time I shared something on my Facebook and I said, we don't get married hoping to be divorced. Like you said earlier, nobody ever got married and said, wait, okay, the next 2 weeks,
Exactly.
let's get a divorce. No, you get married and hope that it'll be your forever. You know what I mean? Because there's a saying, forever is too long to be miserable. So you want to get married and then you think it's forever. You're hoping like that. So sometimes a battle cannot be fought when you're fighting alone.
Exactly.
You need to fight together to make something grow. So yes, it got to a point where we had to agree to disagree that we were not working. We had to part ways.
After having that little angel, that little clever angel. So what do you think led to your divorce? Did you play any part in you separating from your husband?
I think, look, at the end of the day, we're not going to blame him for 100% that no, it's his fault we divorced. No, it was, there are things I did, and I even have to admit, so I made mistakes. But in my mistakes that I made, I really tried so hard in hope that we would still make it work, but it didn't. He also had his own errors. He's human. At the end of the day, we're both human. We're prone to error. And we both made mistakes that got to a point where we felt, you know what, it's best we go our separate ways. So even leading to the divorce, it wasn't like today I left, tomorrow divorce was granted. It took 2 years of trying to see if you can make it work, but it wasn't working. So that's how divorce came about.
So, sometimes in marriages, some people think abuse is only in beating and not only it's only in beating and not in words. So, did you live in an abusive marriage where there was beating involved, or it was just talking, or just any other things that you didn't agree on for you to separate?
I think when we talk of abuse, the worst abuse is emotional abuse, because words injure, words stay. Like somebody will tell you something today, believe me, in the next 2 weeks you'll still think about what that person told you, especially if it was hurtful. So it was more emotional abuse, less physical abuse. He wasn't a very physical person. Maybe once, twice, but it wasn't really something that gave me reason to divorce at the time. No, but I think it was for me. It wasn't more of the physical. It was more of the emotional part. It was more of the things I'm told, the things that I'm trying to do, and then you're told this. So it makes you feel like you're worthless when you're really trying so hard to hope that your partner will be happy and everything. And I think where we go wrong is trying to make people happy when you are not happy. You're hoping if this person is happy, eventually I'll find my happiness. But what we need to do is also to establish the fact that you need to be happy personally, and you only need to give a cherry to that person, because if that person is never happy on their own, they'll never be happy with or without you. So it was more emotional abuse, which I think a lot of people, that's why a lot of people have difficulties talking about, because it's words that are said to you or actions that are shown to you that hurt you more. So it takes quite a lot of time.
I think emotional abuse is totally different from the physical one, because physical abuse, people are able to see that he beat me, this is what happened.
Yes, they'll beat you. It will go all away. You cover it in makeup, but it's gone. It's not people to see it, but the emotional part, you're feeling it. The scar still remains until you're ready to let it go. So it's always that hard.
And then how old were your babies when you divorced?
So my oldest was 5. I can't remember because she's 8 now. She was 5 turning 6. Yes. And the official divorce, she was turning 7. But when I left my matrimonial home, my firstborn daughter was 5. My last born daughter was 6 weeks.
Why are you saying the last born? Are you done?
For now we're done.
Is it because of the trouble that we see on social media by those 2 babies, especially the little one?
Not really. Like, my kids give me joy because regardless of my divorce, yes, there are moments where they ask questions, they talk, they whatever, because they're growing, you know what I mean? And they watch TV, they're exposed to so many things. But my kids give me joy. There's never been a moment I felt like I shouldn't have had my kids because I'm divorced. No. And a lot of people don't get it, but I always say I have 3 kids because the 2 are my biological girls. Then my last born daughter, who I say is my baby, who's yet to turn a year, is my ex-husband's child with his current partner. Yeah, so I always say I have 3 girls because I love her so much. She's adorable. And for me, I don't look at it as he's my ex, he's met somebody else, now it's my stepdaughter. You know, like, no, like, that's my child. They carry the same blood with the kids that I have. So what does the child got to do with the issues I had with the father? Like, nothing. So I love her. She's an adorable young lady. So I always say I have 3 girls, 2 biologically and 1 is a bonus daughter.
And one thing that I've come to learn about you is that you are in good books with your ex-husband. How possible is it that someone that you got married to stayed together, had babies, you divorced, and you're still in good books. Is your ex-husband not supposed to be your enemy because you're no longer together?
I think that has to go away. That notion should always go. Your ex is not your enemy. Just because things didn't work out does not mean you need to hate the person. For me, what I learned to establish, honestly, is before I even talk about the friendship I have, is the fact that my ex-husband I realized he was more happy when he was away from me at a certain point. Like, I know people don't understand that, but like, he was my joy at some point. He was my happiness. I loved him. He's still my joy even now. He's still my happiness. I still love him even now, but obviously the love is different. But back then, it was more, when you see somebody say certain things, but when they're out there, they're this other person, they light up, they're smiling. When they come home, they don't even smile. You're not talking to each other for weeks. You realize that sometimes you need to let go of somebody, let them find their joy and their happiness whilst you work on yourself. It's easier now when you come back, when you're both fully grown, fully recovered, then you get to establish your friendship. That's why I always insist to say, marry your friend, marry your best friend, because you know what happens when you marry someone that's not your friend? When you fight, that's when you have tendencies of not talking to each other for weeks. But when you marry your friend, you're going to want to preserve the friendship. So it's in marriage you're fought, but in friendship you are still friends. That's why you're able to laugh and fall back on. So he's like my best friend. We were talking yesterday, we're laughing because yesterday, I think I remember I was telling him I want goat meat, and he says me where I am, I'm eating goat meat. Then he sent me a picture, and I was like, I'll come with my own tomato and onion and salt and a plate and chili. I just want the goat meat. It's like, you like things. I'm like, the same way you like things. That's what, like, we have a friendship and we've established it because we've realized, look, we have kids. We need to be sane enough to be able to raise these kids in love and not in hate. So we do dates. Me and my ex-husband go out on dates with our kids. We go, we're sitting there, the kids are eating and everything. We're trying to give them a message to say, look, regardless of mommy and daddy not being together, we still love you and we will raise you with the love and care that we
You might be white in a black skin.
Blended family. Like, I love, even worse off, I think somebody condemned me for loving his partner. And I said, look, why am I hating her? I don't have reason to hate her. She's an amazing soul. So I love her because when I'm not around, she'll take care of my kids. You know why you have step parents hate their own half kids? It's because there's always wrangle between their mothers. You know what I mean? You want to compare, you want to do this, but I don't. I want my kids to be raised to know, even if they stay with that other child fully, that's still your sibling. No matter what, they're all the same. The same allowance daddy will give you, you will give everybody else, and the same love. So I get along with her. I was chatting with her even this morning. She was talking to me about the baby's hair. Should I plait her hair? Should I do this? And I was explaining. And that's the type of friendship I have with her, because regardless of the fact that me and my husband didn't work out, my ex-husband, for her, I saw him happy. I saw him do things for her he didn't do for me. And if you really love somebody genuinely, you really cared for them, you let them go to find happiness. And when you see them happy and flourishing, that should be your joy. You know, like, oh, finally they are happy. Not you say the person is miserable, they are crying, and you are you're the one, hey, should be miserable, but you're going home to, no. Don't contribute to people having to be suicidal, having to be abusive, because the more you keep somebody in misery, the more they are angry. They just want to let out. So I saw him do things for her, and I was like, oh my God, he never did that for me. So meaning is happy, and that's where home is for him. And I was excited for him. And this I always tell him, I'm like, I'm so happy for you. The day you guys are getting married, me, I'm coming for that wedding. And it's always fun for you to talk about. So it's one of those things.
Muzambia barabika abantu mumabotolo. Barabika abantu mumabotolo so that they are controlled. Did you at some point in your marriage think, when things started going bad in your marriage, did you think, guys, I think now I'm going to become kabotolo? That somebody's controlling in some way.
And when you talk to people, they'll always tell you certain things. Yes. Like, no, they're using medicine on him. But then I said, look, he's a fully grown man. I think at some point if you're using medicine, it'll backfire. Exactly. And then we'll know. So my key for me when I was undergoing my separation and when my marital home just was set on fire, that's when I knew God. Honestly, before that, I was not a prayerful person. I went to church because my parents said, let's go to church. It's a norm. Yes. You know, like we grew up in a home where your parents are going to church and they'll force you to go to church. That's why I went to church. But it was in my home that I found God and I realized I needed to pray to God. But my one thing, and my cousin always laughs, she's like, I don't know how you do it. I never prayed for God to fix my home. Never did I. I told God, I said, God, may your will for my marriage be done, but give me strength to overcome whatever is coming my direction. And the more I prayed, the more I fasted, the more I looked to God, things kept on getting worse and worse and worse and worse. You know, to a point where somebody else would totally give up and say, I can't, like but it was a time I prayed more. And I kept on holding on to Job. And I said, look, Job went through so many temptations. He went through so much. Never did he at any point, you know, say, you know what, God, I can't, I'm done, I'm gone, and whatever. Hannah prayed without a child. She prayed and prayed and prayed until God blessed her with a child. You know, the Shunammite woman. We talk of a lot of people in the Bible. And for me, my look was, no matter how much trial or fire I'm going to face right now, I will not give up on God. Because what I want God to give me is strength, wisdom, and also happiness that only comes from him. That even if I'm with somebody else, they don't treat me right, I just like, you know what, it's fine. I'm happy on my own, and I'm content, and I'm good. So I find my joy in God. So even one would even think, you managed to sign divorce papers and you still prayed. The day I was going to court for my divorce hearing, I prayed so hard in the morning. I was in court with him and he was holding my hand and I was crying, and he kept on telling me, calm down, you need to calm down, things will be okay, things will get better. And I kept on telling him, I was like, you owe me lunch after this. He's like, yes, I do. And we laughed about it. We sang, we were even laughing. And I remember when we were leaving, somebody said, you guys came for your divorce hearing. I said, yes, you are divorced. Because, you know, like, we think of each other's happiness beyond just us. It's sanity. Happiness comes with your mind, what you tell your mind, and what you feed your soul. So for me, I was not going to prioritize my happiness based on people that would say, stay for the sake of the kids. I'll stay in the marriage for the sake of the kids. He'll stay in the marriage for the sake of the kids. They go to boarding school, they go to school. My kalababili, then what? Divorce at 60. For what? I'm already old at 60. Why am I divorcing at that age? You get my point?
Yeah.
I've endured over 30 years. Why am I divorcing at 60? So it's not, I'm not advocating to say leave your home when things get bad. No, I never, actually, even the ladies that would inbox me asking for advice that I would pray with, I never told them to leave their home. The first thing I ask them is, are you Christian? Do you believe there's a God? Do you know he can fix your home? Without you asking him to fix your home. Because God knows our heart's desires.
Exactly.
He says that in the Bible. Tell him what you want, and as long as it's in line with his will, it'll come to pass. So for me, we are always scared of telling God, may your will be done, because we don't know his will for us. We want ours. But I was trusting God to say, your will is bigger than mine.
Yeah, and at times somebody will say, may your will be done, but they already have an answer that they want, and they want a positive answer, and not the negative one.
Not the negative
If it
one.
comes negative, then it's not from God.
From God,
it's
you know
from
what I
the
mean?
devil.
But sometimes God lets certain things happen for you to either realize, find yourself, you know, your identity in Christ. There are times we love our husbands or our partners more than you love God. That is very possible. But then God is a jealous God. He wants you first before he takes you out there. Because God wants a relationship for everybody.
Exactly.
It's there in the Bible. But what you need to do is first have a relationship with him that's so strong that even if man comes, it will not shake it, you know what I mean, or break it. It will just maybe like a small earthquake that we have here in Zambia that never really goes anywhere. And then, but you still stand still. So for me, it was best on God. And I just told God, I said, may your will be done. Whatever is meant to happen will happen. Yes, it hurt. I would not lie. The 2 years of waiting for divorce and my separation hurt me the most. I went in hiding. If anyone knows, I was in hiding. I was off social media. I just didn't want to see anything. And it gets worse because you'd meet people, call you, hey, I've seen your husband. He's here. He's with NBC. He's with what. And that got to me. So what I did is I changed my number. I went into hiding and I kept people that wanted my growth close.
Ego's attitude.
I kept people very close, like that really wanted me to grow. I cried there. I remember crying myself to sleep. I lost so much weight, my bones were even out. I have pictures of myself and I look, I'm just like, no. You know, so, but then it was in that process of prayer that I was hurting. I needed to realize I can't stay in this place for a long time because I want to be happy and I have kids that need to grab positive energy from me because my baby was small at the time, the smallest. And I had to now learn to heal. So my learning to heal was not easy. It was having to learn to stop crying myself to sleep and trusting that God has bigger plans for me. It's having to write. I write a lot. So it's having to write. It's having to do so many things and having to make closure. Because I didn't want to see him. Honestly, in that 2 years, I really didn't want anything to do with him. I hated him like so much. I didn't even want him close to my kids. So I did everything I could do for him not to have access to the girls. So it would just be through financial. Oh, I'm sending money, he'll send. And I won't even say thank you. It will just come or buy whatever they buy. If my daughter wants to talk to me, I'll just tell her, you can't talk to me, I don't have talk time. And every time he would call to say, so she also at some point, my firstborn began to hate her dad because of how I resented him. Then I realized it's not helping. Because then he would call and say, I'm coming to pick you up for a sleepover. I can't come, I have tuitions. You're 5 years old. What tuitions? You're in reception. What tuitions do you have? But she would come up with all these excuses, and I realized I'm injuring this girl. This is where you have kids that grow up are toxic towards their father because of what their parents have to say. Like, let's put our differences aside, but raise the kids in the right way, especially if the father wants to be part of the kid's life. And for me, my ex-husband is amazing. Financially, he's on point. Even for me, he adds allowance for me as well. He's like, okay, for the kids, and they say for your hair, you know what I mean, for your hair, whatever you want to put gas in the car. But he does that. If he doesn't have, he'll even tell you, this month has been tricky for me, bills and whatnot. So if you have, please do, then I'll pay you back. And when he pays back handsomely. And a lot of people are like, no, maybe you still love him like that. You guys want to get back. In the back. But I'm like, no, it's not that. We love our kids so much that we want them to be raised right. We want them to be raised under good grounds. We want a positive story out of our parents were divorced, but look at us now. We are happy kids. We're content. Me, I always preach to my kids, marriage is beautiful. It's the one foundation that was given by God. God is not going to give us something bad. It's just us humanly that mess it up. He gave it to us to do what is right. And it's beautiful. And I can still get married again if the opportunity comes.
Okay, so we're looking forward to more kids. Okay. That's not the last bone that we're still looking forward to kids. Then my question again is that so for you, for some people when they divorce, they blame the devil and everything, but for you, you thank God because you got closer to God.
Yes.
So, there are some situations, no matter how bad they can be, but if God sees, I'm supposed to put him or her in a certain situation that he or she can come closer to me. And that's what happened to you. Marriage, baby, you got closer to God and he did what he can. And here you are. I love one thing about you. You being this mature lady together with your husband, you still talk, laugh. Your ex-husband. Hey,
somebody out there wants to
I tell you. Hey, so if there's somebody out there who's seeing this beautiful lady, she's ready to have more kids. And you can see she's beautiful. She's very ready to have more kids, yeah. And how did your kids take the fact that you are no longer living with their dad? How did they cope with that?
It was hard. It wasn't. I think that's a task that's still hard even until now because they ask questions. Now you have a 3-year-old who you think the only thing they'll cry of is food, cartoons. But my 3-year-old asks questions. Why aren't you staying with daddy? That's our friend there. She stays with the father and the mother in the same house. As why is daddy staying that side with mommy ABCD and baby thing. You know what I mean? Like she asks questions. But as a parent, I think one thing we need to do is always ask God for wisdom. That's why for me the first priority is God give me wisdom to raise his kids the right way. And I'll always tell them like, if you don't want to stay with me, go stay with your dad. Daddy still loves you. I still love you. Then like, but why don't you stay together? I'm like, Daddy's on vacation. I'm also on vacation. So the day now we're going to stay in a big house. You have 2 mummies in one house and daddy. And then we'll come and add another daddy. Then you have 2 daddies and 2 mummies and you can get this. You can be spoiled. I like to keep
life
the fun I like to keep the fun in that, But for my firstborn daughter, it's been tricky because she's growing. She's older. And I always thank God because I have kids with the biggest IQ. My kids are so intelligent.
No, I've seen them.
It's sometimes it's annoying. It's just like, don't ask me. But my daughter is one person because after my divorce, one thing I'll say is I stayed away from relationships for 2 years. So I didn't date, I didn't see anybody, I wasn't like open to dating because I wanted to heal and not bleed on another person and blame another man to say I miserable because of you or whatever. So I needed to heal and whatever. So it took about 2 years and a few months for me to get into a relationship. I tried a relationship once, it didn't work, and my daughter was she just didn't want me with another man in my life. Like, my firstborn daughter is very, very, very secure about me. Like, she
protects mommy.
She's protective, you know what I mean? And she's just like, Mommy, I want a good man for you. Like, that one. And sometimes you actually think maybe kids' intuitions are right when they say he's not a good man. Maybe God is using my kids to explain something. So it's not that I kind of let go of the relationship so much. Yes, it was a good relationship. He was a good man. Also divorced as well. And but I think maybe for me, thinking he needed his own time to heal and just do him before we actually got together, because there's always something wrong with somebody that's healed, that's divorced, and another one that's still going through a process.
Exactly.
Yeah,
you might find that the one who's not healed, after healing, he doesn't love you.
Yes, the convincing is very different. So we're good friends until now. We still talk, we work together here, there. But I kept him at a distance because then I realized at some point I was becoming a toxic person for myself. And that's the place I didn't want to go back to, because I fought 2 years to get out of that place.
Yes.
To be taken back again is not something I was looking forward to. So I sacrificed that. So I always told my daughter to say, one day I will fall in love and I'll be with somebody. Do you promise to accept the person? Do you promise to love the person? And they said, yeah, Mommy, for as long as they treat you nice. And she's always the person that will say, yeah, he should be handsome, but daddy. You know what I mean? So there are all those things she would say, and I listen to my kids, because at the end of the day, if I have to be with somebody, they get to be in my life and as much as my kids' life. And for me, my biggest priority is a man that will accept I have a past, I have kids, I'm divorced, I am close with my ex-husband, and you're just not gonna come suddenly and be like, stop talking to your ex-husband.
Exactly.
No, I'm not looking for somebody to come and be a dictator in my relationship. What I'm looking for is somebody that will be a great father figure to my kids, a bonus dad, and also a
best friend to your
best friend
ex-husband.
to my ex-husband. Somebody that at least will get along. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
and
every
ask,
I'm not saying every weekend sit and have a drink.
Yes.
No, but at least have a very good relationship.
At least you can even have, some certain things here from the ex-husband.
Like, tell me about this woman. I want to settle down. But, because I have established a good relationship with my ex to a point where chances are my ex would actually give a blessing. For my ex that things ended, my ex even said, this one, I was like, I need a and would laugh about it. I was like, this is being annoying. So even when I told him things didn't work out, she was like, no, that's sad, because you really looked happy, but hey, you deserve a good man, and he'll come around. And one thing he acknowledges is, I was not good enough for you at the time. I didn't give you the best love, but you're a good woman, you know what I mean? And hearing that from somebody that was in your past, and after some time they've learned, the appreciation, saying, you're a good woman. Aside being a good mother, you're a very good woman, and you deserve to be happy. And I just want somebody that will come, and I'm not looking for a pastor that will come preach to me. I'm looking for somebody we grow together in word. Somebody that will not take me away from God, but take me closer, and we grow together. Won't have a problem with having to have a conversation with my ex, because always if I get married, they'll be in contact with my ex concerning kids, and it will no longer be so much of me and my ex and stuff like that. So I'm just really open right now to having a good time within myself, finding happiness for me, contentness, and I'm a workaholic, so I work extra hard for myself, and yeah, just really doing me, because honestly, divorce is not a pretty thing. Divorce is not something I would wish even my enemy upon, because the process is not easy if you're not a strong person. You really need to be strong to go through divorce process, because you will have people laugh at you, you have family mock you.
Especially those that saw your wedding, you were
Exactly. Oh, I had a lot of those. This one, that one. But I don't regret any of that, because honestly, if it wasn't for my marriage, my divorce, I wouldn't be this person. I think I'll just be reckless. Maybe I wouldn't even be alive today. You know what I mean? But I'm grateful for the moments, the bad and the good, because they made me this person that I am. So, yeah.
Some people, they think marriage is a shipikisha club when it's supposed to be beautiful. That's why God was the first person to marry Adam and Eve, and he blessed the marriage. It's supposed to be beautiful, it's supposed to be enjoyable when you're with somebody that you love and they love you back. In a nutshell, do you think if somebody is going through a marriage where they are not agreeing on certain things, is it okay to leave that marriage if they are not happy, or they should stay in that kind of a club? Some of the people would say, no, they kalirabana and everything. Should abana be the reason somebody should stay in a marriage they are not happy?
No. How about this? Kids will grow. You know, the problem what we do to ourselves, I think, is if we're staying for the kids, you know, kids see how toxic parents can be. You're fighting in front of the kids, they're getting that. You might not fight in front of the kids, but they'll see the emotion on the mom or on the dad. They'll see how toxic dad can be. Sometimes dad he just wakes up, he's moody. Mom is moody. She doesn't want to talk to this, she doesn't want that. Kids see that. So it's put in their mind. So as they grow, they'll feel it's the normal way of leaving a marriage. You need to be toxic, you need to treat your partner like that. No. I have seen people that have been raised via divorce in amazing homes now. Like, I'm even looking, I'm like, you came from parents that were divorced. It's like, I'm in a happy home. It's because my parents sat me down and said, just because we didn't work out does not mean your home shouldn't work out. And I always decree and declare, for me, I always say, for me, my divorce ended with me. I come from a family, honestly, Peter, where no one has gone through divorce and separation. I'm the first. Starting from my grandparents. My grandparents have been married for over 60-something years, and they're still alive. They're always like this. They're always together. You know, the other time we've been laughing at home to say if grandpa had to die, it wouldn't take long for grandma to die, because they are always together.
True love.
And they love each other. Even I have aunties and uncles that have been together for years. They love each other. I have cousins that are married in good marriages. Yes, marriages have their own issues, but they're okay. You know, so I'm the first, and I said I was the first and I'm the last for my family.
Exactly.
I have taken in, and I'm praying it's done. My nieces, nephews, children will not go through what I've gone through. Don't stay in a toxic marriage for the sake of the kids, because what happens is at the end of the day, that's why you have people dying. You have a partner kills ABCD, leaves kids behind. You know what I mean? When you could have both just either agreed to say, okay, let's go with focus on taking care of the kids. And what's the problem with us female folks? I think we always feel like when a man moves on with another woman, she's your biggest competition.
Exactly.
That is not your competition. You are your own competition. That's why God created you different from that other person. So at the end of the day, you need to establish, it doesn't have to be a best friend friendship, but a good casual friendship. She's not my best friend, you know. My ex-partner, she's not my best friend, but we have a very good relationship. We can sit and have a meal and talk and laugh about other things. She'll go home, I'll go home. She'll have my kids. She'll have the kids. They're all three together, and they'll do stuff. She'll buy them stuff. I'll buy the kids stuff. Now I've even put it in my mindset, if I'm buying the two stuff, I need to buy for my other daughter stuff.
The last born.
The last born. The smallest.
Who's not the last born, then she's the last born.
You know, because I need to teach my kids love, peace, and unity. Because the first thing God wants with me is love. You love yourselves. Your neighbor is not the person that's far from me. It's the closest person. How am I treating the people under my roof before I go out there? So it's like that. So Shibikisha Club, I don't. Endurance, no. Marriage should be enjoyed, not endured. That's what I always say.
What advice can you give to somebody who's divorced and they are failing to, come out, maybe to tell their story or just to heal from a divorce? They are people that have gone through divorce and they're watching you right now. And before they even heal, the problem is they rush on social media to post about their divorce, say a lot of things. We hear when they go through divorce, they talk negative about their husbands, no, he was this, he was that, and all that. Do you also think it is right for somebody to talk about their divorce on social media publicly before they heal?
No, because before you heal, you're mad, you're upset, you are angry at the world, you think you're blaming everyone. So the first step shouldn't be social media. Actually, the first step should be shut down social media, because social media, lockdown, like
Corona.
That bad time. Like, stay away from it, because it also adds to your anger. You know what I mean? Because you feel like you need to vent to the world. You're playing victim. And one thing I always say is never play victim if you're going through a divorce or a phase. Because you know what happens is, for me, if I wanted, I could rush on social media. Even now, I could go and tally down exactly what he did, or when he said this, when he said that, when he acted this way, whatever. But for as long as, I don't know, for me, I think I dwell so much on what, because I've seen what God has done for me and my family, so I dwell so much on that. And the Bible says love doesn't keep record of wrongs. My ex-husband, even before you met that person you have a divorce with, they were your joy. They were your everything. You know what I mean? You were posting them on that very social media saying, this is my joy, this is my happiness, my everything, my moon to my what. Then suddenly now you hate them, they're the worst person. How? You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's anger, that's rage, that's talking. Because if you really love someone, you want them to be happy. And
Exactly.
if you're not their happiness, set them free to go find their happiness. So social media is the last place to go. You know what I mean? And for me, I honestly, when I see people that will write bad things about their exes and whatever, it gives me two questions in my head. I'm like, firstly, what did this man say to this woman? And secondly, how? Why would you do that? You know what I mean? Like, why are you parading his weaknesses to the world? Then what? Somebody should judge him and say bad things about him. But you know what happens to such women is then they realize when they turn the other cheek, that man is being wanted by a woman that probably is doing way better than them. And now they become more angry. But it's that woman saying, look, I'm fixing what you
didn't.
You broke. You know what I mean? Because you put him out there to look like he's a bad person. Let me get to know this person. Maybe he's not even bad after all. So what you do is speak positives about them, because you know, okay, this is what it is, what are you posting bad things about on Facebook? How are you going to heal? How is it going to make you feel better? How are you growing yourself? It's not, because
actually staying in such an arrangement only hurts the person who doesn't want to come out.
Yes, more and more and more. So for me, I think on that aspect, my advice is don't take it to social media. Heal. There's nothing wrong with saying your ex was a good man. There's nothing wrong with saying your ex-wife was a good woman. There's everything wrong with saying she was a bad woman. Because she was a bad woman, she was foolish, meaning you were the fool because you fell for a fool.
Yes.
You get my point. Oh, my ex was stupid. You're the stupid one. How do you fall for someone stupid? You know what I mean? No, I didn't know then. You attracted each other. So inside your stupidity, that's why inside even your stupidity is just coming out. You don't fall for what you feel you can't. We always say you attract what you are. Okay? And people always say, but how? That person is bad, whatever. So someone once told me, you say you attract what you are. Why aren't you with your ex? I was like, because I'm not the person that I was when I met him. Things change.
That was this person was not praying.
Yes,
and
now I pray. So I can't attract what is not me. You know what I mean? And to say that my ex is I always insist, he's like my best friend. We laugh, we talk, we argue. Sometimes he can be the most annoying human being on earth. But I understand that, you know, because I've known him for over 10 years. So it's one of those things where there's nothing wrong with speaking positive about your ex. Let people think what they want to think. Me, I really care less at this rate. Because like, hey, your ex, you still love him. I'm just like, fam, if it makes you feel better for you to say that, that's okay, because I and him know our type of friendship. And that's fine. So social media is not the best place, honestly, to take your divorce, especially when you are just out of it. You give yourself time. There's nothing wrong with going away. There's nothing wrong with just coming back to a proper mindset. That even the time you're coming to share your story, to say, I'm divorced, I went through maybe a few years, ABCD, but you're not looking so much at the negatives, you're dwelling on the positives. What good things did your marriage do the time you're there? What good things did it bring? This, but even if we didn't click, I'm still a good person. Look at me now, I'm smiling, you know what I mean? Because I always tell them, like, there's somebody that told me, I want to get a divorce, look at how you're looking. I'm like, I'm like, do you think this was overnight? It took years, you know what I mean? And it took a lot of time, it took a lot of understanding, and I needed to understand, what is it I was doing wrong? What is it he was doing wrong? What am I supposed to do different? You know, stuff like that. Because my marriage had its good moments also. It had moments where he shocked me, because he's not the most romantic man. But there were moments he would shock me. There were moments he did good things. How the devil came in our home overnight, I really still don't understand until today, but I am grateful he came, because that's when I laid my battlefield and I knew who I am and how much I can fight and take in. So social media, honestly, is the worst place to take it. Take it after. Like for me, it took time for me to even explain to people, saying I'm divorced and ABCD, because I still wore my wedding band until I think a week after my divorce papers. But it took time, because I need to accept that it's ended, it's done. We need to move on. So heal, Christy, and get better, do better for a better generation. And that's why I always insist, I never tell people to leave their homes. I'll tell you, are you a Christian? Let's pray together. Let's find a way. Let God fix you. Exactly. When God is fixing you, he will not now let me also fix my son, or let me fix my daughter that this man is complaining about, and things begin to fall into place. The only thing is, people always want things at their time. If you pray today, you want a miracle in 2 seconds.
Yes.
You pray now, no, God fix my home. You want in the night, you should come with roses, you should come with what, I'm sorry, and things. No.
You know.
It's a faith is trusting the process, even when you don't know the timing or how long it's going to take or what God has planned for you. You just trust it. Yeah.
And actually, people out there should also know that if you want to divorce because you are looking at somebody who divorced, it might not work the way it worked for them.
Exactly. We're different. People
Yes,
are different.
exactly.
And your heart is also different. Because if you're going to divorce for the reasons that Manachite, she's now driving this, she's doing this, she's doing it, you're divorcing for the wrong reasons. God might not bless you that way. Your blessings maybe are not there. Maybe your blessings are stay in your home and I will fix your home and I will bless you with your husband. They're different, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So even when people divorce, what they should know is not the other person is not bad. Simply because I'm here, I'm sitting, I'm having this interview, and my ex hasn't had an interview, he's a bad person. No, he's not a bad person. We are good people too. We're amazing people. We're just not good together. That's what people should know. We're not good together as a couple. And we didn't figure that out when we're getting married, maybe because we're excited, we're young, you know what I mean? And we thought, oh, marriage is a thing, and for us and everything. And it's amazing. But maybe as time got by, it got the toll on us, and things changed and everything else. But he's still an amazing human being. And I would wish him nothing but the best to marry a woman that, where I felt, she's doing better. That's what I wish for him. Because it's a wish for anybody else that their ex or whoever should be happy, should find joy, should find contentness. Because I mean, come on, if he's happy and he's married to a good woman that's happy and you know they're treating each other well, my kids will never suffer.
Exactly.
They will flourish because they know they've got a mother this side, they've got a mother this side, and they've got a dad that cares. You know what I mean? So it's.
You know, this the relationship they have with the ex-husband only happens in movies, Western movies, of course.
No, but they're there. I think they're there. We just don't know about them. But I know a few. So.
And I must say that in this generation, we should also stop only preparing for the wedding and not the marriage. Let's not be excited about posting photos of your wedding on social media and you're not ready for the marriage, you're just ready for the wedding.
Yes.
That's the reason we are seeing
many cases of divorce. And
exactly,
so
and they are high.
And it's disappointing.
You
and
know.
I'm just like, how?
Yeah.
You get from here to here.
So let's not get married or marry because we saw somebody getting married. Let's also not divorce because we are seeing Christy looking very good, the way she's looking, and hey, you feel like, okay, Nine, let me divorce so that I can look like her. You might divorce today, and then your life goes to waste.
Because your reason for divorce is not legit.
And what will you do? You know? So as we come to the conclusion of the interview, chat on with Peter Shakes, given a chance to turn back hands of time, what do you think or feel
This is a question I don't like.
you could do right that you didn't do to save your marriage?
Firstly, I think communication. I communicated less in my marriage because I felt, you know, this notion where, yes, a man is the head of the house. Even the Bible says it's a priest of a home, and he is supposed, your man is a king, you know what I mean? He's the head.
And you are the neck.
And I'm the neck. A head cannot hold, still function without the neck, because it cannot turn if there's no neck to support it. And I think I wasn't so supportive with certain things that I wanted to do, but I was more silent. I was more of the, if you think it makes you happy, please do. You know,
When in the actual sense, you don't even mean it.
I don't even mean it, because then I felt it's hearsay, like do as, because we're taught he's the head, do as he says. A woman is a reason, if a home breaks, it's the woman, you know. So that notion, I think, needs to go away. Not saying that we shouldn't go through. Me, I love Alangizi lessons, I love Vanachimbusa lessons, but one thing we should do is, what worked for them might not work for your home. Maybe your husband liked Kapendaya Sashira. She teaches you to say, don't Sashira Kapenda. You start not to Sashira. But you knew that he likes Kapendaya Sashira. You stop because you were taught that. Get what you can from them, because they teach wisdom. So get what you can and fuse in what works for both of you. Because for me, I think what I did is I took marriage so serious that I became the wife. Like, he wants to go out, I don't want to go out. He wants to be, I feel like I need to cook, I need to prepare food. He comes back.
Is that what we're told?
You know, but that's what we're taught. But then also, I need to realize I knew him before we got married. This is what he likes.
And I cooked for him.
And I cooked for him before we got married. So it's one of those, yes, I'm taught cook for him, your job is being at home, is cleaning up and whatever. But he wants to go out. Why am I not going out with him? Go out with him once in a while. There's nothing wrong with going out if your man wants you to go out. And we want to, you get married. I don't know whoever said the notion that when a woman gets married, no, like he met you if you met you and fell in love with you when you were in a short skirt.
Keep on doing
that. In the marriage, even worse off, there's no one. If you want, just wear his t-shirt. You know what I mean? If it's just his t-shirt, wear his t-shirt alone. Let him find you like that. Like if he found you with makeup, because we love to let go of ourselves because we feel, he's already married now, we just sit and forget. No, he's married you, but enhance that. It's like a car. When you buy a car today, you need to service it, you need fuel, you need to go to the car wash, you need ABCD. So those are the things you still need to do for your home, even when you get married, You still need to look nice, do your makeup, look great. Because when you go out there, you're your man's ambassador, and he's also your ambassador. So what you look like is how they're going to say he's taking care of you. So if I could do anything different, I think it would be communication. It would also realize that I need to be his friend before I'm his wife fully, because I need to understand our friendship and also focus on our marriage. And I think maybe be a better partner and supportive where I felt I didn't support him or slacked, and maybe also kind of talk to him, not run to talk to people to seek advice. I think I spoke to a lot of people than hearing him out. So maybe if I did that and worked on that, it would be different, He had his own ways of expressing himself and say things, deep things, but then I'm not going to make excuses for him for the bad that he did. But one thing I would say is we were good until it lasted, what I mean? So we're good people to the world. Maybe just not good together as a couple, and that's okay because we've accepted differences and what we can't squeeze it. But marriage is a beautiful thing. I'm always ruled up for marriage. Love is always amazing. So that's why I do wedding rescue, because I remember somebody asking me to say, how do you manage to give people free weddings, do weddings, listen to love stories when you're divorced? I'm like, because marriage is beautiful. I'm not gonna come to you and tell you, I was divorced. Evie, don't even try. No, my story is not your story. So marriage is beautiful. So get married, just marry the right person.
Marriage is a beautiful thing. I quote you, I know we are concluding, I quote you talking of Vanachimbusa. And about Vanachimbusa, this is a time as well when somebody is preparing for a wedding. They should choose the right person.
Yes.
There are some people that are choosing people that Vanachimbusa were divorced. Even hate because of divorce.
Yes, you know what I mean.
What can she teach you about marriage? Nothing. So at the end of the day, now Zaka ipeza on divorce.
It's true, because you have to pick the right one, recognize the right person. Not because she does so much at my friend's kitchen, but now I want that same one. No, pick somebody that you have a good relationship with, somebody you sit, you talk to. For me, my both financial process till today, I still sit and talk to them. The other one last time when asked me, do you want to go back? Let me pray. Let's go talk to him. I said, no. What God has ordained, believe me, if it's what's mine will always be mine. It cannot be taken away. Time might, but it cannot be taken away. And I'm happy. And the last time they saw me, you look nice, you look happy, you look what? And he was in the car, I think he came to pick up the kids for something. I can't remember. Is that him? I'm like, yes. So I'm like, but why should we be enemies? We're still friends and we still talk. And we're still in good relations. So I think even when you pick your Vanachimbusa and whatnot, pick somebody that they inspire in a certain way, you know what I mean? And just be enlightened by them.
Exactly. So thank you, Christy, for finding time to come and talk to people out there and, share your experience on Chat On with Peter Shakes. This was me and Christy. Bye-bye for now. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, the best thing that you can do is hit the red button, like the red button, and switch on the notification bell so that every time I post a new video, you will be notified that Vashimpundu has posted a video. So thank you so much and God bless you. Bye-bye for now.